more than 2 innings, and no one gave up more than 2 hits. Big props to Dodgers manager Dave Roberts for creating a plan to use his bullpen the entire game. Friday's winner will face the New York Mets in the National League Championship Series. Week 6 of the NFL kicks off tonight with the 49ers at Seattle. Seattle quarterback Geno Smith is the NFL's top passer with 293 yards per game. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I need your dollar, that's what I need.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates small businesses, the enduring lifeblood of our community, with the launch of the KBLA SMB Marketplace. For the first time, small to medium-sized businesses will have an opportunity to promote their goods and services on KBLA and take advantage of our powerful reach and local marketing power. The SMB Marketplace is hosted exclusively on KBLA1580.com and is accessible from all our social media channels. Whether you're a small mom-and-pop restaurant, a car dealership, or a professional practitioner, we invite you to join in this new KBLA Talk 1580 initiative to promote your business. As a Black-owned small business, you don't want to miss this unique opportunity to gain new customers on KBLA Talk 1580. For more information, contact us today at smb@kbla1580.com. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me? Time to get
And you better talk to me nicely. Next to blow lip, that might be. Oh. Can't forget all the days they overpriced me. So now that we up, don't get advice, we know. Talk to me nicely. I know that they heated, we getting icy. Whoa, can't forget all the moments they overpriced me. So now that we up, don't get advice, we know. We on top, flipping the bird, they going sick. But I'ma make them eat every word, so don't trip, yeah. Even with all the bridges they burn, I won't switch. Even with all this water we drippin', we won't slip, yeah. Blast Bear Bond in the building, he don't miss. But we call it success when your circle is all rich. If you a big stepper, don't trip over smart. I call it how I see it, but never gon' call it quits, I won't, yeah.
KBLA Talk 1580. Love me some Blast. All right, well, James is still here because we love him so much. Actually, he's pinch hitting as our guest is running just a few minutes behind. And I'm happy about that because we can get to our, not that I'm happy our guest is running late, not that, but that we can get to what I call a palate cleanser. Sometimes we need to hear a little bit of good news. So do you guys remember this pastor, is a black pastor in Alabama? He was doing his neighbor a favor by watering his yard while the neighbor was out of town. And a white other neighbor called the cops. Cops came, they arrest him. They say because he didn't want to give his ID. He was like, yo, I live across the street. And the police didn't care that he lived across the street. He told them he was watering his neighbor's lawn. He said, look, I'm Pastor Jennings. I live across the street. Well, they handcuffed Pastor Jennings and took Pastor Jennings to jail. But it's on video. Lucky for the pastor, because even pastors don't get a pass in racist America. But he sued like a good pastor. And he is able to sue. He's going to sue. Why is he suing? Because he initially tried to sue. Then the first judge dismissed the lawsuit because of qualified immunity, which is what Black Lives Matter and Representative Ayanna Pressley are trying to end. Qualified immunity gives cops all kinds of excuses to break the law. But 3 judges from the 11th Court of Appeals reversed that original ruling and said the officers are not going to be protected by qualified immunity. And so he now can move forward with his lawsuit. That's a refresher for me. It's so rare that cops don't get to use the shield of qualified immunity. This man was clearly profiled. I mean, he's a doggone pastor. You could look at him. He doesn't look like... And why would a criminal go and water someone's lawn. I mean, use your common sense.
You're talking about police using common sense?
Yeah. Or the neighbor that called the police. I mean, I wish a criminal water my lawn. It's looking kind of brown.
Yeah, I mean, it is because you rarely see officers, criminally prosecuted. It's only that civil cases, right, where the ability. But this was in what, Alabama,
yeah,
Arkansas?
It's in Alabama. And the law is that government officials can request your name, address, and an explanation if there's reasonable suspicion that they're committing a crime, but they can't demand physical ID.
Yeah.
So he told them who he was. He said, I live across the street. He said, I'm watering my neighbor's lawn while they're on vacation. So he fulfilled all of the requirements. I told you who I am, where I live, and I gave you an explanation. And for them to continue to demand ID, the circuit...
He didn't follow the 11th commandment. You don't know what that is?
I don't.
Black man.
Oh, you're talking Dred Scott. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I pastor missed that Sunday school lesson. But what do you expect? I mean, this is Alabama, right? He's up and nefarious.
But what I love about this, because I'm so grateful that Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley is working on this end qualified immunity legislation. She's actually partnered up with Lives Matter Grassroots.
Mm-hmm.
And she is working on it, trying to get others to sign on as co-authors of the bill, other Congress people.
What I'm curious about that legislation, because qualified immunity applies to any government employee, right?
Right.
So,
although it seems to be mostly used for cops.
Sure. But if the trash truck, city truck driver gets into a wreck, whatever, he or she's not going to be held personally responsible. But in Presley's legislation, is that specifically for police? And I've never gotten that clarification. Are we looking at taking qualified immunity off the board for every municipal and government employee?
I believe so, yeah.
I agree in the instance of policing, right? Some concerns here, right? Like, because teachers.
Here's the act. Yeah. Go ahead. Because
teachers, anyone that works for, a government agency, and perhaps maybe that will work differently if.
This looks like, from what I'm reading right here, like it is specifically focused on police.
Okay.
Yeah. But looks like it is. I'd have to release about the act. It seems like officers continue to escape accountability when they break the law, shielded by liability from the doctrine of qualified immunity. In 1871, to help realize the promise of equality protected in the 14th Amendment, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act of 1871, granting individuals the right to sue state and local governments who violate their rights, including police officers. Since 1967, the Supreme Court has issued several decisions gutting this protection by inventing the qualified immunity doctrine, preventing police officers from being successfully sued for abuse of power or misconduct. So she's specifically focused here on police officers. I think that I can see your point, positions, but to me, the ability to be able to prevent harassment. You brought up Andrew and Deanna Joseph,
Mm-hmm.
who are in Tampa, and I hope they're okay. Their son, Andrew Joseph, they won a major victory in court, finding that the sheriffs were liable for the death of their son. They won millions. It's the biggest,
15.
the biggest ever
15.
in Florida history. Why have they not received
Qualified immunity?
Exactly. Being harassed, being lawsuit after lawsuit, and another, lawsuit and another lawsuit. So justice is being denied and delayed.
Yeah, and the fact that can continue to use qualified immunity, right? I was there at that trial. I was there when the verdict was read. I was there for the joy and the celebration. I was right there with the family. I knew qualified immunity. And then here they are now having to go through a different level of appeals.
Here it says it. In response to heinous and unjust acts of police misconduct, including the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, Representatives Ayanna Pressley and Justin Amish have introduced legislation to end the doctrine of qualified immunity. The legislation codifies that qualified immunity doctrine is not grounds for defense for police officers that violate the law. So it specifies police officers, to your concern. Does not provide police officers that brutalize or otherwise violate civil rights with defense or immunity from civil liability. So it only specifies cops.
Okay. All right.
And I think this is super important for people to understand and begin to put on our to-do list of things to get rid of.
Yes. Perhaps in January we'll get back around to that and put some pressure over on 1600 Pennsylvania.
I mean, Trump, your boy, 47, would be 47, says that he wants to grant total immunity. Now they have qualified immunity. Means they can still be prosecuted in certain cases.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is saying total immunity. Cops can kill you, they can burn your house, and they have immunity. That's what Trump wants.
Now,
given that, how can any black man support him? I just don't get it.
They should not, but doesn't states' rights kick in? I mean, can't the individual states decide that they are going to prosecute police officers?
I don't know. But it doesn't matter. I think you are right, because I had a conversation with someone else about this. And by someone else, I mean Dr. Melina Abdullah. And she was talking about how that would apply to federal police.
Right. That's
FBI.
I mean, now, again,
CIA,
DC, and
DEA,
any other, right, the force.
Homeland Security.
Yeah. No,
it's a start. It's a start, but I mean, and qualified immunity would apply to everyone. But if Trump says these guys can violate your rights, no matter what, you don't think that's these Republican governors are going to codify that into law, just like they're doing with the national abortion ban?
I mean, in some states, yeah, I think it's very reasonable and possible that it will.
Mr. Thomas is here. So thank you so much, James, for pinch hitting this morning.
Are you going to hit the eject button? Is that how that works
now?
No,
you can hang out.
Up? No,
You're welcome.
No, I mean, I'm good.
Maybe you learned something from Big Nutt over there.
Well, I'm a constant learner, and the audience learned this morning that I won this time. That's all, and I'll leave it there.
I thought you said you always win.
I'm always winning.
We're all winners,
we
James.
Are.
We're all winners.
We are.
Thank you for playing.
Thank you for having me.
See you Monday. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Football is just a tool for me to reach other people, and that's something that my dad was just so strong about. My goal is to see these kids just investing in each other, investing in the community, investing in mankind. That's ultimately the only way the world would be a better place, for real.
Heroes of the Game, brought to you by Nationwide. Watch the full episode at cassiuslife.com/hero.
Church or something, Bo had put together a conference, and that was my introduction to Bo. But Bo was like, if you want me to help you, got to roll with me. So, I was playing, and my case was getting closer and closer to coming to court. So, I really needed help. So, I finally just said, hey, I'd start rolling with him, and next thing you know, we done met Tom Hayden. He walks into court for me, talks to the judge. I've been fighting this case for almost 3 years.
Yeah, but then you have a state senator walk in,
talk to the judge. Next thing you know, I got probation.
Yeah, and we only have a minute and a half here before news, traffic, and sports, and we'll continue on the other side. Mm-hmm. But tell me about Tom Hayden and L.A. Nutt.
Man, that guy is one of the most beautiful men I have ever seen. If you don't know anything about Tom Hayden, check him out. Googling with Wikipedia. Go look at the movie Chicago 7. I know you've seen it.
I miss him just like I miss Bo.
Yeah, I miss him to death. Shout out to his son, Troy Garrity, too.
The actor.
From the Barbershop trilogy. Those people are really boots to the ground. They invested in everything. So I love Tom. And
he ran for mayor, and he had Bloods and Crips marching for him and trying to organize.
Yeah. Now,
he didn't win, but
he didn't win. I think he got cheated. To be honest,
really.
Yeah, I personally believe he got cheated because if the black vote is all this and that, we voted for him. So why he didn't win? I never understood that.
I never looked into that.
Yeah.
Well, when we come forward, here's the book, the first one, The Shooting of L.A. Nutt, Gang Member, Community Organizer. It's called Where You From, Homie? This is a coffee table book, and definitely a provocative coffee table book, but it's a coffee table book nonetheless. Yes. We'll talk about this, what's in it, what it's about, and how he's launching into yet another phase of his life with a real camera, not a phone. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Ree Harris, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Republicans are going after Vice President Kamala Harris for saying she would do nothing differently from President Biden. While appearing on ABC's The View this week, the vice president said she couldn't think of anything she would have done differently from Biden over the past 4 years. The Trump-Vance campaign, with J.D. Vance posting, Kamala Harris is more of the same. The Kremlin is confirming former President Trump and Russian President Putin sent one another COVID-19 tests during the pandemic. That's according to a Bloomberg report. Journalist Bob Woodward's new book, War, was first to report the story. A Kremlin spokesperson told Bloomberg that the testing devices were sent. And that's the latest. I'm Ray Harris on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers played like champions last night in San Diego, 8-0 win over the Padres to avoid elimination and set up an electric and decisive Game 5 Friday night at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers got home runs from Mookie Betts, Will Smith, and Gavin Lux. They committed no errors and used 8 relief pitchers to shut down the Padres offense. It was only the second time in Major League Baseball history that 8 pitchers combined to throw a 9-inning shutout. None of the 8 pitchers went more than 2 innings, and no one gave up more than 2 hits. Big props to Dodgers manager Dave Roberts for creating a plan to use his bullpen the entire game. Friday's winner will face the New York Mets in the National League Championship Series. Week 6 of the NFL kicks off tonight with the 49ers at Seattle. Seattle quarterback Geno Smith is the NFL's top passer with 293 yards per game. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
From the first day of kindergarten through the day they graduate high school, in California, 38% of students attend a public school that fails to meet minimum health standards. That's why we need Prop 2. Voting yes on Prop 2 will fund urgent repairs at local schools, protect kids from toxic mold, asbestos, and lead, ensure clean drinking water, and repair leaky ceilings and storm damage. Yes on Prop 2. To fix what's actually broken. All funds go to local schools without raising taxes. You heard that right. So join the California NAACP, nurses and teachers, and vote yes on 2. Because all our kids deserve a safe place to learn. Ad paid for by Yes on Prop 2, sponsored by Nonprofit Education, Labor and Business Associations. Ad committee's top funders, California Building Industry Association, Coalition for Adequate School Housing, California Teachers Association.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
You are, and I'm here with Nutt, LA Nutt. The reason I hesitated, what does this say on the front of this book? Right here.
Oh, Savon, LA Nutt Thomas. You know, everybody has the alter ego. I got that from a I was reading about an author. Yeah, I was reading about an author one time, and he was saying that some of his biggest novels that was his alter ego. You know how they write the singers and all that. Their alter egos. I think Beyonce made it.
Yeah, Sasha
Fierce and all this type of stuff. That's pretty much the same thing.
Dominique DiPrima is my alter ego.
Yeah.
You meet me off the radio. I'm just quiet and stuff, mostly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I hated my name. That's another reason. Carnell.
Okay. So you're not using Carnell on the books?
No. That's my author name right there.
Oh, yeah. Savon.
Yeah. Sounds good. You know.
Well, okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. But anyway, this is your first one, and it says the shooting of LA Nutt. It's got you on the cover, laid up in bed with oxygen thingies. What happened, and how did that lead you to do this book?
Well, June 18th, 19th, I was shot by one of my little homies for unknown reason. 2021. 2021. I was shot 6 times by one of my little homies for unknown reasons. People think maybe somebody paid him to do it or he did it on his own. Nobody really doesn't know the answer. But if you look at the traditional rules of gangbanging, I've never broke any of those rules. So what's the reason, you know? But that's just
so somebody just rode up on you, shot you, and you don't know why.
Yes. One of my little homies. So, and he
someone from
somebody from my
neighborhood.
From my neighborhood. And when stuff like that happens, it's just when stuff like that happens, it goes to the fact of you didn't grow up over here. That's why it's so easy for you to do this. You know,
back to the gang tourism thing.
Yeah, you didn't grow up under me.
Right.
Any of my little homies that grew up under me, under my regime or whatever you want to call it, would never shoot me because I don't do anything like that. I don't, you know, my job is to help. I help people do a lot of stuff.
Right, when you talk about the rules, you're talking about what?
Snitching.
That's what I thought you were talking about, yeah.
You know, getting one of your homies killed, setting him up, any of that type of stuff. Right. You know, that's really now the traditional rules. You can get killed faster by one of your own homies than the actual
when you
enemy.
break the rules, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, just in general now.
Really?
Yeah, and these murders that's taking place, the majority of them, not every single one of them, but a lot of them in the last maybe 10 years or so, is really homie on homie. It's not really.
What about the? And you say that's people being from different neighborhoods. What about the internet? I've heard.
Oh yeah.
Folks complaining about.
Yeah.
People gangbanging on Instagram that live in Kansas, but they're banging on in LA hoods.
Well, that's just the new that technology. Humanity can never keep up with technology. Technology will always be our worst enemy.
Right.
You know.
And our best friend.
And our best friend.
Right.
You know. But the balance in between that is just going to be.
Right.
You know.
So you get shot by the little homie.
Yeah.
You say you don't know why.
No. Because you could have fought me.
Where is he?
I have no idea.
Haven't seen him since.
No.
He could have fought you, but he shot you.
Yes. Why shoot? Why not go to fight if it's an issue?
Do people still fight?
Yes, if it's supposed to be that. If you have a problem with somebody, you address it and let's get it out the way.
So the Nipsey Hussle situation should have been a fight?
It should have been a fight. It should have been a fight.
Unless he was either an op, he was either paid, or he was either...
Or just mentally...
5150.
Or 5150.
Right.
But... yes, if it's a situation to where you have a problem with me and I got a problem with you, regardless of your status of who you are or whatever, money has never swayed me. All the majority of the people in my neighborhood, if I ever had a problem with, are the so-called people with money, you know,
right.
or whatever. But that means nothing if you broke a traditional rule.
But you almost died, right?
Yeah, I almost died, but I kind of saved myself from the gunshot, from the fatal shot, because when we was in the ambulance, they was taking me to UCLA, and I knew I wasn't gonna have time to make it there. So I told the paramedic, I said, "What is it that you would do that the hospital won't let you do?" Because you know it's procedures they have to go through.
Right.
So I said, whatever it is, do it. So he made a call. He picked up the walkie-talkie. He said something to whoever on the other end. They told him something. He said something back, and he said, okay. And then he looked at me. He said, Mr. Thomas, this is going to hurt. And whatever he did, hurt it. I screamed, but I never passed out. And when I made it into emergency, I was awake. The doctor loved it. He stuck the tube in there to release the air and the blood and all that, and everything else was okay. But so God wasn't gonna let me die.
Something told you to tell the paramedics, do what they won't let you do.
Yeah, do what they won't let you do, because you have procedures, because you're not trained in this.
That's amazing that your brain went there, and you still don't know exactly what he did.
No.
You just knew that there was something he wasn't allowed to do that would save you.
From past experience of seeing that particular gunshot wound, I know several people that have died from that.
Pathetic that you've seen that.
So you can't be panicking during none of this type of stuff.
Okay, well, hopefully none of us will have to live through
that. We don't want that.
Okay, how does that lead you to coffee table books and a career in photography?
Because I was after the shooting, I had to rehab for about a month. I had a lot of my homies upset about it, very, very upset about it.
Yeah, I talked with some of them.
Yeah, they wanted to, handle the business. But in my neighborhood, and maybe other neighborhoods, I don't know, but I helped create a rule that if it's a situation involving you, you have to be the lead.
That's a good rule.
Yeah. So if you need to handle something, you have to do the leading, everybody else involved.
No one can take revenge for you without checking with you.
You have to do it. You have to start it
off. I hope
that
rule spreads, because it would help with the rumor control situation, which kills a lot of people. Rumors go around, and then
Yeah. So as I was sitting there rehabbing, and I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do, that's God. You know, he comes in, it's a feeling. I understand now. And because I come from a very spiritual family, you know, and I got pastors, about 3 or 4 of them in my family, everything from the South. So they would constantly call me, talk to me, because they knew what probably was going to happen.
Times,
so one day God said, don't talk to nobody. Cut everybody out. So only people who I talked to was my family, direct blood, and my team, which was 3 people. And Hakeem was one of them. And everybody else, I just shut down. So it kind of upset my neighborhood because I wasn't reacting. And you have to think about stuff like that because it's not just one person I said I need to kill. When I talk to somebody, I said, no, I need to kill like 4 people. But you're going to get caught at some point. So,
I mean, plus,
you know,
yeah.
So I let it go.
Look, that the ancient West Africans believe that when you murder a person, even in retaliation, you curse your family for 9 generations.
Yeah.
Ponder that.
Yeah.
All right. So when we come forward, we're going to talk about the photography career.
Yeah,
the books, from the hospital bed to picking up a camera.
Mm-hmm.
This is your new job, one of your new jobs.
Yes.
How to get the books, what's in the books, all that's coming up with LA Nutt on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Have you heard of the 50-30-20 rule? This can help you spend and save your money wisely. So, how does it work? Distribute your dollars into 3 buckets. 50% towards needs, 30% towards your wants, and 20% goes to savings. Use this tool to help your journey to financial success. Sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit ca-smp-volunteer.org.
Chevy, All the Things 2024 Truck Season Radio 30, code GWMR0294000.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You'll be able to, or you can even just, with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains, Chevy trucks have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
So I'm looking at your coffee table book. Where are you from, homie? Savon, L.A. Nutt Thomas. I wouldn't have known that was you. I know you as Carnell. And I think you gave me a nickname back in the 90s.
Number one.
Number one. Way back then. Why did you give me that nickname?
Because you had the number one street show. There has never been another radio host of your magnitude that went on Crenshaw Boulevard and did a live show. That still has not been done to this day, you know?
You're talking about when we did the Lowrider show?
Yeah, when you did the Lowrider show, which they need help culturally, because I tried to pitch a show to HBO about the black lowrider culture, because I was going to bring 4 teens that from different gangs and, you know, Bloods, Crips, whatever, that have a rival, and I was gonna let them build a lowrider together, and then we was gonna sell the lowrider to Snoop and all the other people.
It's interesting, but we were supposed to be talking about you, not me, not lowrider. Okay, so where are you from, homie? Your first book. You have 2 more already, right?
Yes, I have another coffee table book. It's called the Cal League. It's the first Crip softball league that was started by Renato Reeser and some other people, but he was the founder of it, part founder, along with a few other neighborhoods. And it was 11 gangs that came together for over 5 years that played softball together, brought out the community, no incidents, just a beautiful time. So I took about 500 pictures and I put it in the coffee table book. So you can get that.
League recently ended.
They suffered a technicality because of the lowrider culture. Basically, didn't have nothing. The two intertwined, and something happened. Some gang stuff happened, and the baseball league got blamed for it, and now that it's no more.
And then your third book?
It will be called Inner City Blues.
Oh, that one's not out yet.
It's not out yet. It will be out hopefully this month, or no later than the first week of November. It is a look at the conditions of LA with the gangs, prostitution, homelessness, mental illness, and it's told through a pictorial of pictures and captions of individual people like yourself that's in the book.
I know. I was surprised to see myself in Where You From, homie. Couple pictures of me.
Well, I got to use what I got, you know. So
now, where can we get these books?
Where You From, homie is on Amazon.
Okay.
Currently, right now, just go to Amazon and type in Where You From, homie, the book or whatever like that, and you should see it. You'll get to it. The baseball book you have to get from me because it's 500 pictures, and Amazon doesn't publish anything of that magnitude. So I had to go to another publisher like Ingram Spark, something like that, and so you have to order that book from me. It's $99, and it's if you are a Crip, a Blood, or whatever, it's a book that you really want on your mantle because it's beautiful
how do
pictures.
we get it from you? Track you down somewhere? Do you have a website? Do you get you on Instagram?
You can go to whereyoufromhomie.com and
you really have that website?
Yeah. I got I got about 50 names.
HOMIE. Whereyoufromhomie.com.
Yeah,
okay.
WHEREFRO, the way it's spelled from. You homie HOMIE .com, and you can get it there. And Inner City Blues, we're gonna do an art and book exhibit, so we're gonna have pictures on the wall, and I'm gonna do it after the book comes out, so you can go to Inner City Blues, just the way it's innercitybluesla.com. INNERCITY blues BLUESLA.com and register, sign up so you can get notified when the art book exhibit is done. And we're gonna have the pictures on the wall. You know, you've been to an art exhibit before.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people don't know about it, and we don't have a lot of black art exhibits, so we're trying to get the youth involved in all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
So we need money. We need money. If you want to help me, just give me some money.
By the way, there's some lovely black art at the California African American Museum right now on display if you want to.
Yeah.
But you'll let us know when you have an exhibit so we can.
Yes, that's why I go to the sign up at innercitybluesla.com. Put your name, email, phone number. So when the art exhibit is here, I can just send you a text letting you know the date and time and stuff like that,
So you see yourself as the hood Gordon Parks?
I like Gordon Parks. I love the way and I can't believe there's nobody, Hollywood has never did an actual movie on him. I wrote an actual script about a movie for him. So hopefully one day we will do the movie. But his work is iconic. And his books.
Yeah, he shot a lot of movies.
Yeah.
But he never, there's no biopic or anything? Maybe, yeah?
No. PBS is the only thing he got.
How did you become connected with him? I mean, given the stories you've been telling us about representing your neighborhood and getting shot and doing gang intervention and almost going to jail, prison, I should say.
In 2000, when I did the documentary South Central's Finest Raw from LA, I had seen the one of his movies. And it wasn't The Learning Tree or something. I forget the name of it. But the way it was shot, I loved it because he's, he's the leader of the black exploitation, stuff like that. So people follow that, and I wanted to make a positive documentary about gangs. So that technically is the first documentary about gangs that's positive. And when I mean positive, when you see the graffiti on the wall, I blur it out because subliminally that can make somebody upset, if they see their neighborhood crossed out. So that I let them know this is not to offend you. So a lot of gangs love that when they seen it. Man, I loved you blurred because we know we was up there crossed that, but I blurred it out so you couldn't see it. If you know, you know.
Right.
So
Gordon Parks directed Shaft and The Learning Tree, by the way.
Yes.
And where do you go from here with this? I mean, I see you got a real camera, not a phone. Where do you go from here?
Actually, me and my team, we constantly write scripts. We constantly do stuff to just elevate. As you know, like what I just gave you and I've been telling you about, just stuff that that needs to get done. So, it's a fight against Hollywood to represent our people, in a positive light, because we need this and we need the next generation to follow, we have to have our next generation of photographers, filmmakers, everybody to understand where we came from, where we going, and what it's going to look like in the future. So we trying to lead. Now we got AI. We got to fight against AI. So,
Why do you say fight against it? A lot of people feel like it's this great tool.
Because it can potentially put people out of work. It could potentially hold us back. It's already hard for us to get into the door anyway. Right. So now they got AI. Say, well, AI just wrote.
What do you need black people for? You got AI. LA Nutt, I don't know whether to call you Carnell or Savant. Hey, you. How do we see the documentary if we want to see your documentary work?
It's scattered out on YouTube. I had a company that wanted to redo it because it was done so long ago, the technology. So I have the original DVDs. So they want me to send in the DVDs so they can remaster it and put it back out.
So we may have to wait for that.
Like on CD Baby. But right now you can go onto YouTube and type in South Central's Finest and a bunch of the clips will come up and you can see like a lot of the different clips. Okay. And until I get it remastered, we might just have to wait a minute. But it's getting taken care of now because of AI.
Well, time flies when you're on the radio. You got a minute. What you want to say?
Well, I just want to thank you for letting me come on, and talk a little bit about what's going on out here in the streets and stuff like that. And I want people to just give me a chance and check me out with the coffee table books. This is a lane that I'm trying to lock down, and I want the young generation to follow me with, their cameras, their films, or whatever. And if you want to help, you can email me at lanutt90@gmail.com and get involved, and let's try to change the next generation. We don't want no more gang members in 24. We don't need any more Bloods and Crips. We need to stop that. It's over with. If everybody say it's over with, then let's not put any more people on.
Okay, that sounds like a whole other show we could do one day. Nutt, thank you for coming in. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Savon, thank you for coming in. I'd like to end with a quote. Today I'm going to Jim Brown, the decision-making process from the American curriculum.
Yeah, my God.
The decision-making process.
Yes.
Eliminate the negative, establish the facts,
yes,
and choose your best option.
Yes.
Tavis Smiley's up next. He's got a lively show for you today. Of course, he's syndicated across the country now and doing big things. Hit me up on social media. I'm at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima Radio on all platforms. You can find KBLA at KBLA 1580 everywhere. Let's keep the conversation going. Tomorrow is Freedman Friday around here. I'm Dominique DiPrima. History is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Ree Harris, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Republicans are going after Vice President Kamala Harris for saying she would want another COVID-19 test during the pandemic. That's according to a Bloomberg report.